Hi, Midge. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Yeah, right here, we've got one of our Haley Angel foals born last night. Tomorrow she can go out and enjoy the day. Hopefully it'll be nice and sunny again. When you think about them today and you think that maybe one day they'll turn up to be the champions. So yeah, no, it's quite a joy, really. So yeah, Josh, we've got some lovely foals. Right in front of us here, you see the stars out of Eastern Belle. Eastern Belle is half sister to Golden Wonder.
Is she a good mother?
She's a very good mother. She's natural. She puts good temperament to them.
Well, James, congratulations, 2020 Godolphin Stud and Stable Staff winner. Tell me, since you won that award, what was it like when you came back here?
Ah, God, when I came back here, I mean, the smiles and the jubilation from my workmates, you know, it was an atmosphere. It made me feel proud. It made me feel that whatever you do in life, if you put in your hard work, the sport that we are in, racing, could reward you. And that was a reward for hard work and dedication over the years. It's good for the minority too, because when they look at the picture of racing, they know that if you go in there and you work hard, you've got a chance. We've got 3 mares. One is she's retired. This one is her last foal. She's the dam to Frankly Darling. So I've been here for 8 years now. Waking up every day, you've got the horses out, and you come out. You know, they give you that spirit. Even if you're in a bad mood one day, but the very moment you go to these animals, your mood changes. You get a bit of happiness because they just bring a bit of joy to me. I think in most instances, really. No. I'm from Zimbabwe, right? And my father used to work on a farm where, you know, he used to be a groom, basically. So in farms, they used to look, that's where they, you know, like here you got Newmarket and you got private farms, don't they, where they do their own training and stuff like that. That's where my father worked, and that's where we lived. When I went to school, I used to go to school in one of the towns in Zimbabwe, but I used to stay with my grandmother during that time when I'm going to school. But when I'm on holidays, I'll be back on the farm again, seeing horses. I used to see horses every day. It was something nice to see. So yeah, so that's where the love of horses started. You know, and as years went by, somebody told my brother, says, well, you could be a jockey. You know, you could suit being a jockey, you know. So he ended up being an apprentice. And that get me closer to the racecourse. We never used to really go to the racecourse because it was quite a distance. You had to catch buses and drive. But when you went into the academy, it was much easier. I tried to enroll from being an apprentice myself, but unfortunately that year they were not taking apprentices. A few years later, one of my friends that was working for my first boss, really, he was my first employer, really. He came to me and says, "Oh, there's a job going on. Do you want it?" And I thought, if I said no, then I'm not going to be close to horses, am I? And I said, yeah, I'll take the job. The next morning I was up at 5 o'clock. I was marking out. You know, it was tough. It was a tough start. Marking out the first day was the toughest thing you can ever think of, because we used our hands and my hands were stained and all that stuff. And you should think about when I came back home for breakfast, I was scrubbing my hands just saying, but they were stained, put it that way. You know, so yeah, so that's how it all started. Good girl. Coming to England was the first time I've actually been in a plane. And it was the first time I've been to the airport, really. So everything was strange. And I come down to the airport, I leave Zimbabwe, it's a nice sunny day, you know, it was lovely in the evening. I get here, all I could see was the cloud skies. I thought maybe the sun is going to come out later on, you know. And then you're seeing all these trees with no leaves. I thought they were dead trees because we never had those, you know.
Did you have enough clothing, seriously, to wear when you arrived, or what?
I mean, the guy that paid and that sponsored my travel, he'd say to me, you know, don't worry about clothes because Zimbabwe is warm. You need to buy. We need to get something that will keep you warm here. But one thing that I actually got was from my old boss, the boss that I was leaving. He gave me one of his leather jacket. I still got it.
Fantastic.
The day when I went to say to him, I'm leaving for England tomorrow, he said, son, here you go. He took it from his wardrobe, brought it to me, and says, here you go. Wear that. It's going to be cold out there.
We were talking about bosses being called sir and boss and governor when you were in Zimbabwe and what have you. Is that a class system in Zimbabwe? Were they mostly white trainers in Zimbabwe, or?
Yes, I mean mostly they were white trainers. There's this guy, this black owner, that was a friend of my brother's. He had a couple of horses with different trainers, but he was trying to bring in black trainers into the game, and he became a fully fledged trainer, and a couple of people gave him horses. He did a bit well, and then there was the guy that was his assistant trainer became a trainer in Zimbabwe too, but so far they were the only one that have actually trained in Zimbabwe.
So why do you not think it's an option there? Or if you look in the UK, we haven't got any trainers from an ethnic minority background, unless they were brought up in the Middle East, Sahib bin Zarora and the like. But why do you not think it's an option for people?
I think it's the cost of training. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the expenses that trainers have got to go through, and sometimes people never actually don't think about even taking the opportunity because you don't have the finance behind you.
So the blockage is the access to the finance to set up.
Yeah, because if you don't, I mean, it's like a business, isn't it? If you don't have the finance to set up, even if you think about it, you won't even do it. You need some money to start. Even if you've got the idea, you've got to have the money.
So you think there's people with the skill set out there, but that it's just the opportunity and the finance behind it?
There probably is, but I mean, there probably is, but unless they come out and try. Yeah. And unless they come out and try, but like I say, the barrier probably with the finance, because you got to have the finance, and it's got to. I mean, it's got to be viable. Come on, there you go. Good boy. Good boy. Go on.
What's going on?
Go on.
Gosh, she's stunning. She is.
And we're talking of the golden horns. There's a lovely golden horn.
He looks a cheeky chappy.
He is very cheeky. He is very, very cheeky. When you turn him out in the field every morning, it's quite funny. You turn him out, you let go. The first thing he does, if you walk back, we're just looking. You follow you behind and come and try and scratch you.
And what do you look for in a good foal there, James?
Confirmation, but sometimes, I mean, foals at this time, they're all changing, but confirmation and physicality. When you look at that, that's a good specimen. So when I started here, golden one was a yearling. He was one of our yards on the other side called Trinity. He was nice looking coat, averagely bred. He was a Cape Cross. He was there. You would notice him, but he didn't do anything that he was very flashy, that you go, this is it. As he is now, he's quite calm and composed. He was just like that. Did we know that he was a superstar at that time? I personally didn't, but he turned out to be a superstar. I mean, watching him race is something that will ever live with me for all the years. I mean, him winning the derby and the screaming that I did.
Were you jumping on the sofa?
The kids were actually thinking, what is he doing?
My dad's gone mad.
Yeah. It was more like that, but you get lost of words. And knowing the meaning of a derby and knowing what it meant to the boss. But it was nice. It was just nice to have one horse like that. Just thinking I am part of this. Well, this is our lovely Frankly darling. She's now retired. She's been back on the farm since the last race last October. So she's just covered by Lob de Vega. And next year there, that's Dame Malio. You can see how big she is. She's a very big mare. And it's one of those fillies that we're proud of. They're having their time in the field now, and they're enjoying it much better.
What's it like for you bringing up a family of an ethnic minority background in a rural area and a predominantly white sport that horse racing is?
When I look at what happens in cities and towns, I think I'm actually bringing my children in a very good setting. My children going to school, never at any time if one of them come and say I've suffered discrimination or anything. But one thing that I always want to put to my children is you're not different from anybody. Because I always think that children see no color, unless you teach them otherwise. I mean, I know they can see that probably my color is different from that one. I'll tell you a funny story. This is quite funny. So I've got my 11-year-old, my soon-to-be 11-year-old. He was at an age of 4. He was born here in England. At an age of 4, we went home for a holiday. So we live in a rural setting, like you said. We live in a rural setting, and he sees, probably when he was at school, he was the only person of color on there, at the age of 4. So we go to Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe is a black majority in it, and so we're driving around every day, and for 4 days, the kid, I think he was struggling and trying to think, wait, how come,
Everyone's brown here. Yeah, we all look the same.
The 4th day, he actually asked, I said, Daddy, what's going on? Why is everybody else all the same? It's all different from England. I said, no, you're in Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
but I mean, I know they see, but they see no difference. They see no difference. They just see one as a human being, and I think it's nicer if they can grow up with the same kind of thinking. Oh, now I can get you, don't I? Yeah. Come on, darling. You're not coming in? No, not yet. Hi, darling. Oh, good girl.